desperate search for a missing Calgary boy.
Check their property, check their garages, check their sheds, check their RVs, check their cars to help us try and bring Parker home.
Police and volunteers comb the streets for the 11-year-old who cannot ask for help. Plus, Donald Trump is fuming, blasting Canada over wildfire smoke.
Maybe what you should do rather than complain is send support.
The U.S. threatens higher pollution tariffs while Alberta jumps in to help. And keeping your cool when the mercury soars.
In terms of speed, it's about 30% faster than it was.
Tips to stay safe on fast-flowing rivers this summer.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. We begin with a developing story tonight. The search continues for a missing 11-year-old boy who has not been seen in nearly 30 hours. Police believe Parker Wells is alive, but they are asking all Calgarians tonight, citywide, to take action to help find him. Tyson Fedor joins us from police headquarters, and Tyson's search efforts are now escalating.
Tara, Parker Wells disappeared from his Cambrian Heights day home yesterday morning, or between the hours of 11:01 and 11:48. He was then seen in the Thorncliffe neighborhood about 45 minutes to an hour later. The search efforts ramping up today with hundreds of officers, search and rescue volunteers, and the fire department looking for Parker Wells. And now police are calling on the public to help them bring Parker Wells home safe.
On the hunt for an 11-year-old boy, Parker Wells disappeared from his Cambrian Heights day home in the 0 to 100 block of Connaught Drive Northwest sometime between 11:08 and 11:41 a.m. Thursday.
We're asking for members of the community to check their property, check their garages, check their sheds, check their RVs, check their cars to help us try and bring Parker home.
Parker is autistic and nonverbal. He functions at the level of a 2 or 3-year-old.
Don't try and engage him. He does get agitated if a stranger approaches him, and we don't want him to be any more scared than he already is. Every indication we have is that this is an 11-year-old child who functions at a diminished capacity, and he has simply wandered off.
More than 200 police officers and 70 trained search and rescue volunteers are looking for him. He was last seen between 12:30 and 1 on Thursday afternoon in the community of Thorncliffe.
We have no reason to believe that Parker is not alive. So I'd like to sort of, for lack of a better word, nip that in the bud. This is still very much a search.
The Calgary Fire Department was seen searching Nose Hill Creek and waterways near the area Friday. Investigators say he is attracted to water and his parents are going through emotional turmoil at this time. He was last seen wearing gray shorts with no shirt, black ear-canceling headphones, and black shoes.
I would not put a radius on a search area. It's likely that he's close to Thorncliffe, but that level of likelihood is impossible for us to put a number on.
Articles of clothing belonging to Parker were found Thursday night around 7 on Northmount Drive Northwest, where a command center has now been set up at the nearby Thorncliffe School.
Now, police were answering questions about a potential Amber Alert in a case like this. However, police saying today that they cannot issue Amber Alerts in cases of missing persons because those are provincially regulated for abduction cases. Police are now calling on all Calgarians across the entire city to look on your CCTV, any doorbell cameras, or even dash cam footage for any instances where Parker may have been. You can send those videos to Calgary Police. You can also give them a call. Tara?
Okay, Tyson, thank you for that. RCMP say today they are still looking for 2 children missing from northwestern Alberta a week after canceling an Amber Alert for one of them. The 2 children are 6-year-old Lanakai Morrison and 4-year-old Carl Morrison. Krista Morrison is Lanakai's mother. Daniel Ludwig is Carl's father. 1 week ago, Alberta RCMP took down the Amber Alert, saying it no longer met the criteria. RCMP now say the group is still considered missing and the adults are wanted by police for abduction in contravention of a custody or parenting order. Police say they could be traveling in Alberta, northern BC, or the Yukon. About 900 wildfires are burning across Canada tonight. The situation is especially dire in northern Ontario. Evacuation orders have been issued for a number of communities. Others must be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Flames destroyed buildings and blanketed smoke across much of the province. More than 120 active fires are burning. Only about half of them are under control. Now, the smoke from Canadian wildfires is blowing south of the border, creating terrible air quality conditions for millions of Americans, too. This afternoon, President Donald Trump lashed out, suggesting Canada is invading U.S. air, threatening new tariffs because of it. Joy Malbon reports from Washington.
Millions of Americans woke up to this. Cities shrouded in smoke and haze from the wildfires. Chicago, Detroit, and Washington, 3 of the most polluted cities. You can barely see the capital. The air quality, a code purple. And that's not good.
It smells like a campfire. I've been in and out of a car just taking care of errands this morning, and my throat is already sore and my eyes are itching.
I'm wearing a mask because the air quality is very low from the wildfires coming from Ontario in Canada.
It was only a matter of time before some Americans began to blame Canada for the unhealthy air. The U.S. president said he's holding Canada responsible, calling it willful negligence, and says he will add the cost of this pollution to the tariffs Canada is currently paying. Ohio's Republican Senator Bernie Moreno threatened to sanction Canada and the responsible Canadian government officials for this atrocity. The wildfire smoke so enraged 4 Michigan Republicans, they sent a scathing letter to the Prime Minister claiming Canada hadn't managed its forests to prevent the fires. Ontario's Premier is pushing back.
I truly believe the Americans are good neighbors. If there's some politicians out there chirping away, well, maybe what you should do rather than complain is send support.
And ask the experts. They say it's not who, but what is to blame.
Until we cut that fossil fuel use down to zero and start actually stop the warming and start the cooling, we will face this. So it's ridiculous to blame Canada.
For the U.S. states affected, some relief this weekend. Rain and thunderstorms are in the forecast, and that will help clear the air. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
With more on Alberta's contribution to the firefight in Ontario now, let's bring in Camilla Giuseppe. Cam, dozens of Alberta wildland firefighters and support staff are on the ground there now.
Tara, 94 to be exact, and that's not all. The province has also sent over 3 Bird Dog aircraft, 8 air tankers, and 2 heavy heli tankers to help battle a devastating scenario that Albertans know all too well. Alberta Forestry and Parks Minister Todd Loewen posted this photo of the firefighting contingent currently in Ontario, writing in part, "When another province calls, Alberta shows up." Alberta, over recent years, has been on the receiving end of this kind of help. This group will be in Ontario between 14 and 18 days. Alberta Wildfire says it will reassess whether to send more help if needed, so long as it doesn't impede fighting wildfires here. Now, thanks to a rain-drenched June, Alberta's wildfire season is off to a slow start. From January to now, about 17,500 hectares of forested land has burned, the lowest over the same time in the past 5 years. But hot and dry conditions are starting to settle in. Wildfires are popping up in northwestern Alberta, Wood Buffalo National Park, and around Lac La Biche. And wildfire risk in southern Alberta is also creeping up.
We call it the agricultural area. That's south and east of Calgary, down towards, east to the border, Saskatchewan, and down to the U.S. border, has been starting to dry out. So we're starting to see some increase in levels there, danger levels there.
Forsyth says wildfire safety and prevention awareness among Albertans is improving, but as more folks head outdoors this summer, he's asking everyone to do their part. And Tara, Alberta Wildfire also has crews battling fires in Quebec and the Northwest Territories, along with Ontario and here in Alberta.
Okay, Camilla, thank you. 2 out-of-control wildfires are testing firefighting crews in BC's interior, but today the weather was working a little more in their favor. This was Thursday when it was much windier. Helicopters were able to fly in and out of Pemberton today, scooping up buckets of water. That allows a more direct attack on the flames. The BC Wildfire Service says cooler temperatures, higher humidity, and calmer conditions are helping in that battle. An evacuation order remains in place for the fire in Boston Bar. Let's bring Danielle in now. Such hot and dry conditions in so many places tonight.
Yeah, and it's almost like we temporarily traded our weather with Ontario. Well, they're so smoky there. We're really humid here. And humidity, well, humidity and heat, that helps some storms get developed. But however, a lot of them are dying out pretty quickly, which is some good news for us. There was one really starting to get going just outside of Cochrane, but that is starting to fizzle out at this point. And by Lomond, just to the south of Lomond, those are fizzling out too. So central Alberta dealing with some more serious storms, like it has been for the last 2 weeks. 27 degrees is the temperature in Calgary. That is just the ambient temperature. With the humidity, it feels closer to 32. If you've been outside, you know what that feels like. All right, so less humidity for tomorrow. So it will still be hot and humid through the rest of today. And then small risk right up until 10, 11 o'clock of a non-severe thunderstorm in Calgary. Tomorrow, we're kicking off the day at 20 degrees at 8 a.m. That's a hot start to the day, a high of 30. So a little hotter in the ambient temperature, but a lot less humidity, Tara.
20 in the morning. Wow. Okay, thanks, Danielle. Well, if you're one of many Calgarians looking to beat that heat, you may consider taking a trip down a river. But the rivers are higher than normal right now, and the currents can be deceptively fast. So experts are urging you to be safe on the water. Here's Tommy Osborne.
With hot weather settling in and the city's river safety advisory lifted, it's quite busy on the Bow River.
Tomorrow we have another sold-out day, so I'm excited.
A rainy start to summer has led to more water in the mountains and a faster flowing river.
The water is going a bit faster. Usually it takes us about 2 hours, 2 hours, 50 minutes to get to the zoo. And a few weeks ago, it took us an hour and a half. So in terms of speed, it's about 30% faster than it was.
While fun, the current can become a real safety hazard.
There is such a thing as undercurrents, and these are exactly what it sounds like, currents that are under the water that are not necessarily visible to the naked eye that could still take over strong swimmers.
I see so many people wearing ankle leashes. It is such a huge danger because if you do fall off and your ankle leash gets caught on a rock or a log or anything like that, it can actually hold you underwater.
A higher than normal river is an additional hazard.
There are underwater entrapment hazards. So again, even if you're a strong swimmer, if your clothing or your limbs get stuck, you could get into a lot of trouble.
The islands have all disappeared, so it's just kind of a bunch of trees and bushes poking out of the water. Tons of people just kind of miss them, and then they end up hitting them, either puncturing their raft or capsizing.
It's a fun way to beat the heat, but water safety experts are reminding us to be careful.
Imagine your body going from, it's a 35-degree day outside and you fall into cold water. Your body can go into cold water shock.
Definitely bring water, bring sunscreen, bring bug spray and whatnot. A lot of people just kind of forget that they're on the river for 2 hours. There's no tree cover or any shadows or anything.
Lalonde also recommends a boat safety kit in case of emergency, doing your research before you head out, and, of course, wearing a life jacket.
And Tommy joins us tonight from the West Baker Park boat ramp. So Tommy, tell us a little bit more about the latest data from the Life Saving Society.
Well, Tara, the Life Saving Society data says that in our province, 1/3 of all drownings take place in rivers. And if you want to factor lakes into that as well, those two outdoor bodies of water make up more than half of all drownings. Now, of course, those outdoor activities take place in the warmer months, so May to September, and it's that time period where 55% of all of Alberta's drownings take place. For children 5 years old or younger, the Life Saving Society data says 100% of those drownings were because of absent or distracted supervision. But it's not just the children that are at risk, as that data shows that the demographic that is most heavily impacted by drownings are actually adults aged 35 to 49. It's that age group that makes up 25% of all of our province's drownings. Tara?
Wow. Okay, Tommy, thank you.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Southern Alberta Police are launching a program to recognize young people making positive contributions to their communities this summer. Operation Freeze is a partnership between Circle K, Olds Mounties, and Calgary and Lethbridge officers. The long-running program rewards young people's good deeds and behavior with complimentary Froster coupons, while also strengthening relationships with law enforcement.
Operation Freeze is about much more than free slushy. It's about recognizing the positive choices young people make every day and encouraging them to continue contributing to safe, healthy, and connected communities.
Coupons are given out to youths for things like wearing a bike helmet, volunteering, using crosswalks safely, and picking up litter. International students in Calgary are expressing some frustration tonight. They came here to study. They wanted to work here afterwards, but Ottawa refused many of them permits. And a Calgary businessman creates a scholarship to honor his grandmother. We'll hear from some of the recipients next. A car landed upside down in a collision in northwest Calgary today. Emergency crews were called at 11:30 to the Nose Hill overpass over Crowchild Trail. Two vehicles collided, leaving one on its roof. EMS say one person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. They came to Canada with the promise of a future after graduation, but now more than 1,500 international students across the country say that future is uncertain. Dozens gathered in Calgary today, fighting a decision made by the federal government, which led to mass refusals for postgraduate work permit applications. Mark Villani has more.
Ms. Jaspinder Kaur.
Jaspinder Kaur graduated last month with a diploma in business management from Portage College. Her family back home in India spent $32,000 for her to complete the two-year program in Calgary. She dreamed of working in Canada, but now she's left in limbo.
I didn't heard any news and I was so shocked.
On Friday, dozens of international students gathered in front of the college after 95% of them were refused their applications for post-graduation work permits. Despite many of them applying 18 to 24 months ago, the federal government claims their programs were non-credit, meaning they no longer qualify.
All of us are agree we can't even sleep or we can't even eat properly. Like, it's a depressing moment for us.
It all stems from a move made by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. Its website previously had no mention of non-credit programs being an issue for anyone who applied prior to May 15th, 2024. But on June 24th of this year, the department added this bullet point, clarifying non-credit programs were not eligible. Calgary-based Shori Law is now handling more than 200 cases with local international students.
I think the issue here is a lot of students were just caught unawares because that was not something that was brought to their attention.
And some say that subtle change shouldn't apply to them.
That should be enforced on the future, but that is enforced on the past dates.
We are very hard to survive without any job. It's very hard to manage their bills or expenses and their rents.
Meanwhile, other students like Sukhpreet Singh were lucky enough to be approved for a work permit, even though others taking the same non-credit program as him didn't qualify.
And for now, they are giving approvals 1 out of 20. So how? Same course, same intakes.
In a statement, the IRCC claims there have been no changes to the eligibility criteria for the post-graduation work permit program. IRCC is committed to ensuring its communications with clients are clear. The department continuously reviews and updates its guidance and online content. But without being notified, these students say they've been blindsided.
We just need the fair decision.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Portage College and its partner school, Calgary CIOT, declined to comment, but it sent a letter to students earlier this year stating that their work permit applications would be eligible so long as the students stayed in good standing. When the Premier announced Meta's new $13 billion AI data center coming to Sturgeon County last week was announced, she said it will be built in an industrial area away from people and food production. That came as a shock to a family who has run a farm in that area for more than a century. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Our family farm in approximately 1945.
The Onusco family has been farming this land in Sturgeon County since Kelly's grandfather established a homestead here more than a century ago.
Cereal grains, canola, oilseed, livestock. We had cattle, pigs, chicken.
Over time, their neighbors changed from farms to refineries and a fertilizer plant.
We've had concerns of dust. We've had concerns of noise, light pollution.
The area was officially designated as the Industrial Heartland Zone in 1999. And while no homes or farms are allowed in the area, the Onuscos were permitted to stay. The next neighbor to move in will be Meta's recently approved $13 billion AI data center about 5 kilometers away. Onusko and his sister Linda were surprised to hear the Premier describe its location like this.
The Sturgeon Data Centre will be within Alberta's industrial heartland, which is a designated industrial zone not used for farming, residential housing, or food production.
If we look around, we see canola fields, we see wheat fields.
And we're here.
They fear it's a losing battle, but they want their presence to be considered.
I just want the government and the industry to be responsible and accountable, and for them to know the truth. We're here.
A government spokesperson tells CTV the land is industrial zoned and undeveloped. The zoning consultation and zoning decisions were made decades ago as the land was originally going to be home to multiple refineries.
This photo is from approximately 1992.
Only one family member now lives on the farm, and the fields are all leased to other farmers. It's a family legacy that's hard to let go of. The data center is expected to come online in the next 2 to 3 years. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Sturgeon County.
Now that the stampede is over, construction is ramping up again in the city's culture and entertainment district, and that may affect how you get around that area. Scotia Place is almost a year away from completion, and construction is also underway on a new hotel at Stampede Park. Starting Monday, some roads will be affected by all that work. 5A Street will be closed, and there will be lane restrictions on 12th Avenue and Stampede Trail.
But we will see intermittent road closures and lane restrictions for the next few months. And so whether you're coming in August or coming in September, October, visiting the C&E Access Map is really your best way to get real-time, up-to-date information about what's open, what's closed, and the best way to get around, because some of these closures will be in place for a few months.
The website address is map.cedistrict.com. If you're going to an event at the Saddle Dome or elsewhere at Stampede Park, the Calgary Municipal Land Corporation recommends taking transit or entering the grounds from the south on 25th Avenue.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Spring Danielle Beckett knows we look ahead to our weekend forecast. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, but the weather's going to change for half of the weekend because we're going to get a system that's going to break the heat a little bit. That's in Calgary. Many other communities in southern Alberta will hold on to the heat for the whole weekend and in through much of next week as well. All right, so let's talk temperature. This is just the ambient temperature, which means the base real temperature. 27 degrees in Calgary. I'll show you humidity in just a second. 31 in Drumheller and Brooks, 34 in Medicine Hat, 29 in Lethbridge. Now let's factor in humidity here, and with these values, it feels closer to 39 in Medicine Hat, 37 in Brooks and Drumheller, 33 in Calgary, and 36 in Lethbridge. If you've been outside, you definitely feel it. It's so humid. Now, we're going to be less humid in Calgary tomorrow, but still just as humid in the far south for tomorrow as what we had today. Let's talk about watches and warnings in place. And in the red here, this is a heat warning that is in place. It will be hot everywhere for tomorrow, but for a number of days, so at least a couple consecutive days, we're looking at daytime highs just in those low 30s and overnight lows in those mid-teens. So we meet the criteria here for consecutive days, and that's why the heat warning is in place. All right, off to the east in the light yellow, that's the severe thunderstorm watch. Lethbridge up to Calgary, but there's not a whole lot going on right now. Things just can't get going. We've had some rainfall in the south, especially along the Trans-Canada. We have a couple storms that have bubbled up, but they really fell apart pretty quickly and fizzled out. You can see this one that was near Cochrane. That was actually looking fairly decent for a little bit, but when I zoom in, I'm showing you it's really starting to fizzle out. There is another one that's starting behind it, though, that may be providing some hail. So there is the potential of some more severe storms as we head through today, but it's a smaller chance and it's very isolated. That chance goes right up until about 11 o'clock tonight. Up Highway 2, Calgary could even see that. So until about the midnight hour, I would say that's when we have no chance of seeing any sort of thunderstorms. The risk is gone by midnight. And then for tomorrow, it's a lot of sunshine out there in all of southern Alberta. The southeast corner may be clipped by a little bit of what's going on in Saskatchewan, but outside of that, it's quite nice. Again, still hot, so you got to get used to the heat. And then this system will track in on Sunday. So starting off with sunshine in the morning, but clouding over throughout the day in Calgary on Sunday. And this will break the heat a little bit and give us a daytime high in those mid-20s. In comparison to the 30 tomorrow, it is quite a difference. All right, so 30, mainly sunny tomorrow, more cloud cover increasing throughout the day on Sunday, the risk of thunderstorms in the afternoon, and a high of 25. We'll hold on to those mid-20s for Monday and Tuesday of next week as well. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
Many high school students who graduated this year are taking a small break before starting the next stage of their education. And 15 graduates are getting a little help from a local home builder. They've won scholarships worth $1,000 each, and that money can be used for anything that will help them out right now. Kevin Fleming reports.
She's one of 15 Kirpal Core Hinza Memorial Scholarship winners. Josie Trilateral was diagnosed with dyslexia when she was in grade 6. She's going to use the money to purchase a tool to help her with her studies.
It's a pen that you highlight on a sheet of paper, and I have headphones and it reads to me, so I can use it on any container or something that I'm trying to read if I don't know the word of it. And there's also a dictionary on it, which is nice.
Paul Shergill heads Prominent Homes. He's handed out thousands of dollars to students since the scholarship began in 2008. Shergill says the scholarship is in memory of his grandmother, whose education helped her to succeed when she moved to Canada from India as a single mother of 3.
Because she had her educational background, she was able to get, started as a labor job, but able to move up in her company and got jobs as a scientist, blood analyst, stuff like that in labs.
Navreet Ball was one of the first students to receive the scholarship. Now she's in public service as a regulatory lawyer.
It was just a tremendous honor to receive this scholarship. It really made me feel, seen. It made me feel that the hard work I was doing was being acknowledged in some way.
Max Lupel has only been in Canada for 3 years after moving to Calgary from Ukraine and has had to learn to fit in.
Just this simple recognition as it is, it just shows me how much I've done, and it more importantly points out to what else I can accomplish. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Lupel now has big plans for university and says the scholarship will help.
I'm going to University of Calgary next year, and I'll be taking biomedical sciences program, and that would be a big milestone on my way to becoming a neurosurgeon.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Prominent Homes is hosting the 15 winners this evening at a celebration to present them with their scholarships. What happens now with CUSMA talks suspended? We'll tell you what Mexico's foreign minister says about trilateral trade talks while visiting Ottawa today. And later, if you don't like being the center of attention, you wouldn't like this, but for 2 massive soccer fans, living in this World Cup fishbowl was worth every moment. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand met with her Mexican counterpart in Ottawa today. It was the Foreign Secretary's first official visit to Canada. While the meeting was focused on advancing shared priorities, as CTV's Rachel Aiello reports, trade was inevitably the hottest topic given the looming CUSMA talks.
A show of alignment today between Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister and Mexico's Foreign Secretary.
Mexico is a critical partner for Canada.
Though despite her Mexican counterpart asserting the two countries don't have any areas of friction,
we only have areas of opportunities.
Both are bracing for tense trade talks with the Americans, where they are trying to iron out different issues, an effort the Mexicans appear further ahead on.
Very difficult to compare the progress on those substantive points as a whole.
The U.S. has triggered annual reviews of the Trilateral Trade Pact, rather than the 16-year CUSMA renewal both Canada and Mexico wanted. Today, the Mexican foreign minister wouldn't say whether he'd be willing to cut a new deal with Donald Trump alone.
Whenever it's necessary, we also consult with each other. But of course, there are many issues with which we need to communicate directly with the United States.
One such issue for Canada, the Gordie Howe Bridge. Amid continued confusion over what was agreed to see it open, today the Conservatives called out the Prime Minister for what Pierre Poilievre characterized as contradictory statements, calling on Mark Carney to release the deal so Canadians can see for themselves what you negotiated away.
I think in due time it will come out, but right now it's likely just a negotiation tactic.
Minister Anand said today that as talks heat up, Canada will keep working on all fronts to strengthen both bilateral ties as well as the North American relationship as a whole. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
In the Middle East, an Israeli strike on a funeral in the central Gaza Strip killed at least 7 people and injured 22. Israel says it targeted a terrorist cell. Local officials in other parts of the territory report that attacks left 5 more people dead. Elsewhere, the U.S. continued to attack Iran today. Bridges and an airport were hit after Donald Trump threatened airstrikes on Iranian infrastructure. The U.S. president has also declined to rule out a ground assault on Iran's coast or islands. Tehran responded to the attack by targeting a power and water desalination plant in Kuwait. And then this afternoon, the Americans launched another round of attacks. They also redirected 4 commercial vessels and boarded a 5th to ensure compliance with the new blockade on Iranian ports. The UK will have a new prime minister on Monday. It's 7th in 10 years. Andy Burnham was elected leader of the governing Labour Party today. It's the final step before he becomes PM. The former mayor of Greater Manchester is warning party members that this is Labour's last chance to turn its fortunes around. The 56-year-old is promising to decentralise power away from Westminster to other regions. Burnham replaces Keir Starmer, who was forced out by a rebellion within his own party. He is the best guitar player in Canada who doesn't actually play. You'll meet Canada's air guitar hero. Our trending videos are next. A man from Red Deer will rock out and represent Canada on the world stage. Cat Friday has been crowned the air guitar champion of Canada. By day, he's known as Tyler Gardner, a man with a dream of making it all the way to the Air Guitar World Championships. After years of getting close, he's now on his way. Gardner says air guitar is a skill he has honed by playing along to songs on the radio. He says judges are looking for charisma, technical ability, and what Gardner calls airness.
It's the hardest to explain and it's the hardest to train. It's one of those things that, you know, the old quote, you know it when you see it. And it's that ability for, you know, you as a crowd member or a judge to be completely overtaken and forget that you're watching an air guitar performance. And
the judges must have recognized Gardner's airness. He'll be leaving for the Worlds in Finland in August. Gardner says the event is all about promoting world peace, following its creator's vision that people will stop doing bad things if they just pick up an air guitar. That may or may not be true. I don't know.
I don't know, but I know that practicing at home might look pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, 2 football superfans will be looking for a new gig as of Monday.
I've been saying that going back to normal life, it's gonna be weird. It's like this has been our routine for the past month and a half.
This is Kevin Akato and Austin Franklin. They've been living the dream job the past 5 weeks. They've been working as chief World Cup watchers for the U.S. broadcast. So on game days, they just have to sit in there and watch every game. It's a 32 by 16-foot glass cube. It's situated in Times Square in New York. They had to post to social media. They had to engage with fans peeking in, but they each made $50,000 to do it. That's pretty good for a month's work.
I'd sit in a bubble and make $50,000 anytime.
They were happy to do it too. And they obviously are soccer fans, so get paid to watch.
Perfect.
Very nice. There are some pretty famous mascots out there, right? Like Mickey Mouse, Tony the Tiger, the Kool-Aid Man. Well, add Pearl to the list.
I mean, is that as appealing? I don't know.
This is Pearl. She is a multi-eyed mollusk with long legs and red lips. She's the face of the annual Halifax Oyster Festival.
Okay.
Kind of a creepy crustacean, but she has a male counterpart named Earl, so Earl and Pearl.
Oh.
The duo can be found at Canada's largest raw bar in late September on the Halifax waterfront. It might be really funny to run into Pearl if you were walking the Halifax waterfront.
That would be funny, especially if you hadn't told me about this and I was wondering,
You'd be like, what is that? Well, you might remember we told you a few weeks ago about the auction of one of the most famous props from Star Wars. Well, it's sold for a record-breaking price. Remember this? So Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from The Empire Strikes Back It fetched $3.75 million at auction.
Wow.
So it was the lightsaber, and it came with the hand that Darth Vader lopped off moments before he reveals he's Luke's father. The sale price far exceeded the pre-auction estimates. It sets a new world record, in fact, for a screen-used Star Wars prop.
I can see how that would be one of the big things, though, that would make
Absolutely.
a lot of money.
I mean, that's a famous scene.
That's famous.
Some very wealthy movie buff bought that. It's a battle of the most valuable companies tonight. We have details on the back and forth between Apple and NVIDIA coming up in our business report.
Okay, Skywatch weather camera. It's hot. It's humid. A lot of people aren't used to the humidity. All right, so 27 degrees is that current temperature. Our high was 28 and normal is 23. This is a quick look at just the ambient temperatures, but let's fast forward to humidity. And this is what it actually feels like out there. So you can talk on about 5, even 6 degrees to the actual temperature for what it feels like. 39. And yesterday was 40 in the Medicine Hat area. 33 is what it feels like in Calgary. 36 with that lovely humidity in Lethbridge, and higher than that at 37 Drumheller and Brooks. So there's the humidity, there's the heat, and for many places, especially in the far south, we'll hold on to the heat for the whole weekend. We're going to break the heat by Sunday, though, a little bit and get into the mid-20s in Calgary, but tomorrow will still be a hot one. Heat warnings in place for the southeast corner, Jenner, Medicine Hat, Foremost, Manyberries, and just to the east of that, so Tilly, Lethbridge, up the highway towards Calgary, there is a severe thunderstorm watch in place, and just outside of Calgary, there has been a little cell that has bubbled up, and there was a severe thunderstorm warning, which will likely be dropped because this is starting to just fizzle out. A lot of them, all of them, have been fizzling out. Still the potential of some decent storms right up until about 11 o'clock tonight. But less likely to see those more severe storms. All right, for tomorrow, kicking the day off at 20 degrees. This is incorrect. This hasn't been updated. So ignore this. 20 degrees for the morning hours. It's a hot start to the day. And for tomorrow afternoon, getting to a high of 30. And that comes with sunshine and stability. So no risk of thunderstorms for tomorrow in the city. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Extensive search efforts continue for an 11-year-old Calgary boy. Parker Wells was last seen in Thorncliffe yesterday around noon. More than 200 police officers and 70 search and rescue volunteers are looking for him, and all Calgarians are being asked to check their properties for any signs of Parker. Alberta has sent 94 firefighters and several pieces of equipment to Ontario to help battle an increasing number of wildfires in that province. And many people will hit the rivers this weekend to beat the heat. The Life Saving Society is reminding everyone to put safety first. That includes wearing a life jacket. One of the key faces of the 2022 Freedom Convoy protests has been found guilty of intimidation. Pat King was earlier convicted and given a 12-month conditional sentence on several charges for his leading role in the protests that gridlocked downtown Ottawa for almost a month. At the same trial, King was acquitted on 3 counts of intimidation. Today, the Ontario Court of Appeal found the trial judge made an error and overturned the acquittal, ordering that King be resentenced later this year. Today, Apple ousted NVIDIA as the world's most valuable company. BNN Bloomberg's Marla Fernandez has more.
But not for long. By the end of the trading day, it was NVIDIA back at the top. Here's what happened. NVIDIA shares dropped this morning, sinking its market cap to $4.8 trillion US. Chip makers are being dragged down by investor concerns. The drop made room for Apple to grab the top spot with a value of $4.9 trillion. But it switched back by the end of the day, letting NVIDIA keep the title it has had since May of 2025. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.38 US. Western Canadian Select is down to 65.02. And the TSX lost 76 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marla Fernandez.
Volunteers rolled up their sleeves in Fish Creek Park today. They're pulling invasive weeds that could threaten the ecosystem. It's a big job. We've got more just ahead. The Friends of Fish Creek Provincial Park Society relies heavily on volunteers to make sure that natural space is at its best. Right now, those volunteers are tackling invasive weeds. It is tedious work because there are a lot of plants that need to be pulled, root and all. But it's important so that the native species have room to grow. Kevin Fleming reports.
There are a variety of flowers in bloom, but while they're beautiful, some are more harmful than others. This group is learning about Thesium. It's a new provincially designated noxious weed that's only growing in a few spots in North America, one being in Fish Creek Provincial Park.
Thesium came from the Europe-Asia region, around there. It's part of the sandalwood family. We don't know how it would have come here to our area because there's like multiple vectors that it could have come through.
The job today is to hand pull invasive weeds from an area where the society is replanting native species and has fenced it off to keep people out. But the Thesium has found a way in.
Unfortunately, it is everywhere along this park, but particularly in what we call riparian areas. So that's areas by the water. The only way to tackle this is manually pulling it out. And like I said, it's across the entire park, so we really need a lot of volunteer help to deal with this.
4 young women with Youth Central are keen to make a difference in the park and help out where they can.
We're learning about the different invasive species that are in this park and how to remove them in the way that is most efficient.
The society says the key is to pull the weeds along with their roots before they go to seed. In this area, they're also getting rid of thistle and goat's beard so the native plants can thrive.
I think it's important to give back to your community and to be an active member, and especially with conservation activities like today, it's also part of stewardship and like ensuring that future generations can live and enjoy Calgary like we do.
The park sees close to 3 million visitors annually and is maintained by just 300 volunteers throughout the year who perform all kinds of tasks. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
So right now there is no herbicide registered for use on Thesium. Volunteer coordinators say handpicking is best anyway so that the nearby aquatic ecosystems aren't impacted by any chemicals. Calgarians can share in the excitement of the World Cup final with a watch party on Sunday. A big screen will be set up on Stephen Avenue at 2nd Street Southwest. The event will run from noon to 4 with kickoff between Spain and Argentina at 1 o'clock. Cavalry FC and Wild FC are involved in the watch party, and there will be several prizes up for grabs. Explore Downtown YYC is hosting the event with the Calgary Downtown Association.
Fun.
So fun. Hopefully they won't get rained on. 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon, they should be okay, right?
Oh yeah, they should be
outside?
okay. Yeah, just more cloud cover and less heat. Maybe you need a break from it. I certainly don't, but I'm sure a lot of people do. All right, 30 degrees is the high for tomorrow, but that comes with less humidity. So the base temperature will be higher, but the humidity will be lower. And then this system that will be moving in on Sunday will break the heat. We'll get the cloud cover on Sunday, and we're looking at a high of 25, but this does come with the risk of thunderstorms later in the afternoon and through the supper hours. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. And how beautiful and calming and peaceful is this? This is from this morning, taken in North Glenmore Park by Graham Bond.
Great shot. Love the color. Have a terrific weekend. For breaking news anytime, go to our website, ctvnewscalgary.ca.